Welcome back. All right, so as promised, 16 games, 16 game preview, and all 32 magnets. Sometimes it just works. So we have 16 games on the schedule. We have 5 of them are matinees, and 11 of them are evening games. So oddly enough, it's not going to be as hard for me to track as it was on Thursday night because there were 14 games, and this coming Thursday, I think it's a 15 game night. Yeah, good luck. So 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 in the morning Pacific. The Carolina Hurricanes and the Buffalo Sabres start off. Now, I didn't go into all the detail on these games because, for the most part, it's the final few games of the season. So for Carolina, they're 50, 19, and 9 on the season. Their last 10 games are 5, 4, and 1. They're only 1 point ahead of New Jersey now, so they need this. Buffalo needs this desperately, and they need help. They're 38, 32, and 7 overall. Their last 10 games are 5, 4, and 1. They are 6 points back of the New York Islanders and that final playoff spot. Then at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, we've got the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Detroit Red Wings. For Pittsburgh, they're 39, 30, and 10 overall. Last 10 games, they're 5 and 5. 1 point back of Florida and the Islanders, and 5 points clear of Buffalo. So really, if you're a Buffalo fan, you have to hope that Pittsburgh, Islanders, and Florida all lose tomorrow. Detroit, 35, 33, and 10. Last 10 games, they're 5, 4, and 1. In the Bedard hunt, they are number 10 in the draft lottery right now. So they still sit 10th, and we'll see whether or not they win their way out of that. Again, the players on the ice don't care, so they're going to win the games if they can. They don't really care about draft lottery odds. Then at 3:30 Eastern, so 12:30 Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars get going. So my plan is to get these two games on a board of their own, and then these two games will probably get a board of their own too, so there'll probably be a video for recapping these two and these two. I would add this one, but because there's only a 1.5 hour overlap with the 4 o'clock starts, I don't know that I can get it done. So at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. This one should be fascinating because Dallas has been better lately, but Vegas is a really good test for how much better they are. Vegas is 49, 22, and 8 overall. Their last 10 games are 7, 1, and 2. They're 3 points ahead of Edmonton atop the division. On the Dallas side, they're 43, 21, and 14. Their last 10 games are 6, 3, and 1. They are tied with Colorado atop the division, and they're 2 points ahead of the Minnesota Wild. Then at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, yes, the dreaded trap magnets on the board, because I think there's some trap games. I think you're only a week out from the playoffs. It can happen. And for Edmonton, they've just been on such a roll, and San Jose, I could see there being an upset here. For Edmonton, 47, 23, and 9 is their overall record. Their last 10 games are 9, 0, and 1. They're 11, 0, and 1 in their last 12. They're 3 points back of Vegas, and they're 3 points ahead of LA. On the San Jose side, they're 22, 40, and 16. Their last 10, they're 3, 4, and 3. They've lost their last 2, both of those against Colorado. They are number 4 right now in the lottery watch. Then we get into Anaheim and Arizona. So I'm wearing Coyotes. I'm not going to have much more of a chance to wear Coyotes until we get to the offseason and I talk about all the teams missing the playoffs. The Anaheim video I did yesterday is not that video. So Anaheim, 23, 45, and 10 in a game that will start at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. They will be in against the Arizona Coyotes. Anaheim 1 and 9 over their last 10. They've lost 9 in a row. They're number 1. They're number 1 in the Bedard race, and if they lose that 10th in a row, I have to do a video on their 10-game losing streak. So Arizona, I think, is probably going to beat them. They're 27, 39, and 13 overall. Their last 10 games, they're 1, 7, and 2. So this is a team. These are teams that over their last 20 combined games have both won once, so 2 times altogether. Arizona's number 5 in the race for the Bedard lottery standings. And so, yeah, that should be, kind of a fun one, and it's kind of on its own, so I hope it's a fun game to watch. Then we get to 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games starting at that time, beginning with Florida and Washington. So, Florida 41, 31, and 7 overall. Their last 10 games are 6 and 4. They're tied with the New York Islanders. They have the tiebreaker on the Islanders, and they're 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh. So, for Florida, they're in pretty good shape, but they need to beat Washington, a team that's 34, 35, and 9. 2, 6, and 2 over their last 10, and they're number 9 right now in the draft lottery standings. And of course, they had that tough loss against Montreal. We'll see if they bounce back. Speaking of which, the Montreal Canadiens in against Toronto, also starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Montreal 31, 42, and 6 on the season. Last 10 games, they are 4 and 6. They're number 6 in the draft lottery standings. Toronto 46, 21, and 11 overall. Their last 10 games, they're 5, 3, and 2. So for Toronto, everything's already decided. And so I could see Montreal maybe winning this game, but I didn't put a trap magnet there because it's not an important game for Toronto. So if they lose, it's not necessarily a big deal. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the New York Rangers in against Columbus. The Rangers 46, 21, and 12 overall. Their last 10 games are 6, 2, and 2. They are 4 points back in New Jersey. So if they have any hope of catching New Jersey, they need the Devils to lose and they need to win. Columbus 24, 46, and 8 coming off that embarrassing loss to the Devils. They're 3, 6, and 1 in their last 10. They're number 2 right now in the draft lottery standings. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Nashville and Winnipeg. A lot of eyeballs are going to be on this game. For Nashville, they're 40, 30, and 8 overall. Their last 10 games are 6 and 4. They're 1 point back of Winnipeg and Calgary. For Winnipeg, 43, 32, and 3. Their last 10 games are 5 and 5. They're tied with Calgary, 1 point ahead of Nashville. This game could go a long way to deciding, does Winnipeg keep that spot or did they give that up? At the very least, if they beat Nashville and do it in regulation, they push Nashville to 3 points back, and that makes it tough for Nashville to catch them. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Tampa Bay and the Ottawa Senators. So I do have a trap magnet here. I know that they don't have anything more to play for Tampa than Toronto does, but I just feel like I'll put a trap magnet here. We'll see. Tampa Bay 45, 28, and 6. They're 4 and 6 in their last 10. Ottawa should be pretty ticked off about the way that last game went down. Maybe they have a big game. They're 37, 35, and 7 overall. Their last 10 games are 4, 4, and 2. I've already got 4 trap magnets on the board. I don't think I needed a 5th, but there's part of me saying that Toronto one probably needed one. But anyways, Ottawa 4, 4, and 2 in their last 10. They are officially eliminated from the playoffs. But pride, right? Pride's on the line. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Philadelphia and the New York Islanders renew their rivalry. So for Philadelphia, they're 29, 36, and 13. They are also 4 and 4 and 2 in their last 10. So 4, 4, and 2 between Ottawa, Philly. Teams are outside the playoffs. Philadelphia number 7 right now on the Bedard draft lottery standings. For the Islanders, they're 40, 30, and 9. Their last 10 games are 6, 3, and 1. They're tied with Florida for that last playoff spot, and they're 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh. Then at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, St. Louis and Minnesota. I put a trap magnet on this one as well. Kaprizov's coming back, but without Eriksson Ek, I could see the Blues biting him. The Blues have been playing pretty well lately. They're 37, 35, and 7. They're 6, 2, and 2 in their last 10. And in terms of their standing in the draft lottery, they're currently 11th. So they are the highest ranked team that still has an outside shot at winning the draft lottery. And getting the number 1 pick. Minnesota 44, 24, and 10. They're 5, 3, and 2 in their last 10. They've fallen 2 points behind both Colorado and Dallas. Bit of a tough time for them lately. And so we'll see if they bounce back against St. Louis. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start as well between the New Jersey Devils and the Boston Bruins. This one should be a fun one, even though Boston's not playing for much. So I feel like New Jersey should win this. But Boston's won some games that they probably shouldn't have lately. So, over their last 10, New Jersey's 6, 3, and 1. They're 1 point behind Carolina, as mentioned. They're 4 points ahead of the Rangers, as mentioned. On the Boston side, they're 61, 12, and 5. They're looking to equal the greatest win total in NHL history of 62. They're 9 and 1 in their last 10. And again, and I know people think it's crazy for me to say it, it doesn't feel like they've really been the Bruins over the last 10 games. Like, they're doing well and they're getting their wins, but it feels like there's more there, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Then at 10 Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks. Old rivalry here. This one gets restarted. Calgary 37, 27, and 15. They're 6, 3, and 1 in their last 10. Again, tied with Winnipeg, 1 point ahead of Nashville for Vancouver. 35, 36, and 7, trying to get back to NHL 500 again. They're 5, 3, and 2 in their last 10. They're number 8 in the draft lottery standings. And it looks highly unlikely that they'll fall further down because Philadelphia is 7th. They're 7 games below 500. Vancouver's only 1 game below 500. So still a number 8 draft pick in this draft is nothing to sneeze at. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Chicago and the Seattle Kraken. For Chicago, 25, 47, and 6 is their overall record. They're 1 and 9 in their last 10. They're one of these teams that's just dropping like a rock. They're number 3 in the draft lottery standings currently. Seattle, of course, has just clinched a playoff spot. I could see them having a letdown tomorrow. Thus the trap magnet. They're 44, 26, and 8 overall. Their last 10 games are 6, 3, and 1. They're 4 points behind LA. So again, we'll see if any of the trap magnets come true or not. I do keep an eye on that, but it's just kind of a fun thing to do. Because again, this time of year, I think it's possible for a team to have a down game this close to the playoffs if it doesn't feel like it means much. and I don't know that Seattle chasing LA, I don't know how much that's going to spur them on. And then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, so they are really, really stretching me out here. There is 10 hours between that start time and this start time, and there is no break in that time. So for Colorado, 47-24-6 is their record. They're in against an LA Kings team that's been having some trouble lately. Colorado's 8-2 in their last 10. They are tied with Dallas at the top of the division. They're 2 points ahead of Minnesota. On the LA side, they're 45-24-10. Their last 10 games are 5-4-1. Dreams of winning the division probably gone by the wayside. They are currently 3 points back of Edmonton. So if you're a fan of the Kings, tomorrow you are also a fan of the Sharks. I know that's going to feel weird, right? But at any rate, that's where we're at. The Kings trying to chase down second place. I don't see them having enough to catch Vegas. Vegas is 6 points ahead. But at any rate, let me know your winners in the comments section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video, and yeah, I got 16 games on the board. Don't be surprised next season if I completely revamp how I do the previews. It kind of kicked in with me this week. I think it was Tuesday. And if you watched that video, you might have seen the moment where I went, I want to do this different next year. There was a pause, and I looked at the board, and I looked at the camera, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this different next year. Punch it up a bit, and I also want to do that with the recaps a little bit too. I think that with the preview videos, it might be kind of fun if I added to the preview what happened last night. So these are your results from last night. These are teams that won, and this is your games for tonight. And just keep it as simple as possible, right? I think that's important with previews. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.